students, welcome to the third session of the third chapter, reconstitution of a partnership firm, admission of a new partner. So in the previous classes we studied about the calculation of sacrifice ratio and new profit sharing ratio. In the last class I told you about the calculation of new profit sharing ratio under three different situations, three cases. First, when the old ratio and shared sacrifice is given in the problem, that time how we have to solve the, how we have to calculate new profit sharing ratio. Second, when the old ratio and sacrifice ratio is given in the problem, that time how we have to calculate the new profit sharing ratio. Third, when the old ratio and share sacrifice by each partner out of their old share is given in the problem, that time how we have to solve the problem, how we have to calculate the new profit sharing ratio. Now, I will go for the fourth case. Fourth case, we studied only three cases of calculation of new profit sharing ratio. I will go for the fourth case. In the fourth case, old ratio is given in the problem and new partner share is given. Old ratio and new partner share. First case, old ratio and share sacrifice is there. Second case, old ratio and sacrifice ratio is there. Third case, old ratio and old partner sacrifice from their old share is given in the problem. In the fourth case, old ratio and new partner share is given in the problem. Then how we have to solve the problem, how we have to calculate the new profit sharing ratio. Here we have just two information, old ratio and new partner share. For calculation of sacrifice ratio, you have to make some assumptions. Let the total share, assume total share of new firm equals 1. Assume that the total share of the new firm means in the old firm Anil and here is a problem. Anil and Vishal are partners sharing profits in the ratio of 3:2. This Anil and Vishal are old partners, the ratio is 3:2. They admit Sumit as a new partner. Sumit is a new partner for 1/5 share. That's the information in the problem. 1/5 share. Okay. So in the old firm Anil and Vishal is there. In the new firm there are three partners, Anil, Vishal and Sumit. Okay. So the total share of the new firm is 1. New partner share, Sumit share. Sumit, new partner. New partner share equals 1/5. New partner share is given the problem 1/5. Now, total share of all the three partners is 1. New partner share is 1/5. 1/5, not 1, 1/5. That means total 5 parts, out of 5 parts new partner share is 1. Now, remaining share of old partner Anil and Vishal equals 1 minus 1/5. Total share of all the three partners is 1. New partner share is 1/5. So out of 3 partner share 1, deduct new partner share 1 minus 1/5. You will get, so just you deduct 1, 5 minus 1, 4, 5 as it is, 4/5. Total share of all the three partners is 1. New partner share is 1/5. 1 minus 1/5, 4/5. This 4/5 remaining share is of Anil and Vishal. Divide this 4/5. Divide 4/5 share in the old ratio. Old ratio is the old ratio of 3:2. So if you divide the remaining share in the old ratio of 3:2, you will get the new profit sharing ratio. Okay, new profit sharing ratio equals remaining share, this is the remaining share 4/5 into, divide means into old ratio, old share. Okay, new profit sharing ratio of Anil, new profit sharing ratio of Vishal, remaining share 4/5, 4/5 you have to divide. In what ratio? Old ratio into 3:2, 3/5, 2/5. Multiplication mark is there. Just you have to multiply. 4 into 3, 12. 5 into 5, 25. 4 into 2, 8. 5 into 5, 25. So you got the ratio 12/25, 8/25. Now new partner share, Sumit. Sumit share is 1/5. Here you have 12/25, denominator 25, 8/25, denominator 25. Here also you have to get 25. To get 25, you have to multiply by some number. Okay, 25 divided by 5. So you will get 5. Remainder is 5. 25 divided by this 5, you will get the remainder is 5. So multiply with that remainder. 5 into 1, 5. 5 into 5, 25. So you got the common denominator. 25, 25, 25 cancel. So the ratio is 12:8:5. Okay. So these are all the problems relating to calculation of new profit sharing ratio. But you have 4 cases. So you will get confusion regarding the calculation of new profit sharing ratio by applying the different formula. Don't bother about these 4 cases. So when the offline classes were started, that time we will clarify, I will teach you once again and we will clarify the doubts. Okay. So don't bother about all these things. Just you try to learn this. If it is not possible to learn this, leave it as it is. We will learn it in the offline classes. Okay. Now we will go to the other topic here. Next topic. Valuation and treatment of goodwill. You have different steps in the preparation of accounts at the time of admission of a partner. First one is, first step we have completed. That first step is calculation of sacrifice ratio and new profit sharing ratio. Second step is valuation and treatment of goodwill. Valuation and treatment of goodwill. Okay, we'll go for this valuation and treatment of goodwill. First, you have to understand about goodwill. You have to know about goodwill. What do you mean by goodwill? So at the time of admission of a new partner will bring some capital into the business. Along with capital, he should also bring some amount for goodwill, some excess amount for goodwill. For example, at the time of admission, at the time of admitting a new partner bring 20,000 rupees as capital. In addition to 20,000, he will give some extra amount. For example, 5,000. Totally he paid 25,000 into the business. 20,000 as capital and 5,000 for 5,000 extra amount for goodwill of the firm. For goodwill of the firm. So goodwill means good name of the business, reputation of the business. A business is having good name in the society. A business is having good reputation. You have in Ramnagaram, Himalaya Footwear, a good name. Whenever you want to buy the footwear, whenever you want to buy slippers, footwear, then you will go for the Himalaya footwear shop. Why? Because it is having a good name. It is located in a very good place, central location, and the owner is also treating the customer very well. So because of the good name of that shop, you will go to that shop. First preference you will give to that shop. You will go to that shop for buying the footwear and slippers. So why? Because that business is having good name. That shop is having good name. Goodwill means good name or reputation of the business that will attract more customers. Because of good name, because of reputation of business, more customers were attracted. And because of attraction of more customers, the shop, the business will earn some extra profit over and above the normal profit. Suppose their normal profit is 20,000 per month. Because of good name of the business will earn 30,000. Normal profit is 20,000, but the business is earning 30,000. Why? The business is having good name or reputation. Because of good name or reputation, the business is earning 10,000 extra profit over and above the normal profit of 20,000. Business is earning 30,000 over and above the normal profit of 20,000. Why the business is earning 30,000? Because of good name of the business. So goodwill is the good name or reputation of the business that will attract more customers and help the business to earn extra profit over and above the normal profit. So it is an intangible asset to the business. It is an asset, intangible asset. Intangible means you cannot see, you cannot touch, but you can feel. Goodwill is not a chair, goodwill is not a building, goodwill is not a furniture. Goodwill, building, furniture is an asset of the business. But goodwill is also asset of the business. Building, furniture are tangible assets. You can see, you can touch. Goodwill is intangible asset. You cannot see, you cannot touch, but you can feel by earning the extra profit. Okay, that is called goodwill. Next, what are the factors affecting goodwill? For the purpose of calculation of goodwill, what are the factors you have to keep in mind? You have to keep in mind so many factors. I will give you the 4 important factors affecting goodwill. Nature of the business. Nature of the business. You are having the business and that business products have stable demand. Stable. The demand will not suddenly decreases. The demand is stable. So, nature of the business, you are producing the product, your business is producing the product having stable demand. If your products have stable demand, then you have more amount of goodwill. Then nature of business. Location. If your shop, your business is located in central place, as I told you, Himalaya Footwear, located in central place. So because of the location of the business is having more amount of goodwill. Then efficiency of management. If the management is efficient in dealing with the customers. Suppose if you go to the Himalaya Footwear shop, there he will give you a discount and he will talk you in a polite language. This is the efficiency. This is the efficiency of the business to attract more customers. Okay, if there is a efficiency of the business, then the goodwill is more. Then market situation. Market situation, if you are having monopoly market, you are the only single supplier in the market, you are having more amount of goodwill. Or limited competition, you are having limited competition. Few shops were there. You are having a shop and in that surroundings, only few shops were there. Limited competition. That time also you are having more amount of goodwill. So far, goodwill, factors affecting the valuation of goodwill. Factors affecting the what are the factors affecting valuation of goodwill means? You will get a 2 marks question. For that you have to write nature of the business, location of the business, efficiency of management, market situation, monopoly or limited competition. Then need for valuation of goodwill. When there is a need for valuation or calculation of goodwill, when you value the goodwill, when you calculate the goodwill. So goodwill is valued at the time of sale of business. Suppose the Himalaya Footwear shop, he want to sell his building, he want to sell his shop. That time he will value the goodwill. So the value of the shop is, suppose the value of the shop is nearly 50 lakh rupees. Additional amount he will take for goodwill, for good name. So when, what is the need of valuation of goodwill means? when the owner of the shop want to sell the business, that time he has to value the goodwill of his shop. At the time of admission of a new partner. In case of partnership firm, when a new partner is admitted into partnership, that time goodwill is valued because some extra amount is taken from the new partner. Retirement of a partner. When a partner is retired, some amount of goodwill is deposited to the partner's account. So for that, goodwill is valued. Death of a partner. When a partner is died, that time also some amount of goodwill is credited to his account. Then amalgamation of firm. When two partnership firms join, start a single partnership firm, that time there is a need for valuation of goodwill. So need for value. What is the need for valuation of goodwill? You will get a question. Sale of the business, admission of a new partner, retirement of a partner, death of a partner, amalgamation of partnership firms. These are the 5 situations in which there is a need for valuation of goodwill. Then next, methods of valuation of goodwill. There are 3 methods of valuation of goodwill: average profit method, super profit method, capitalization method. Just you have to keep in mind the 3 names. In average profit method, the average profits of some years, some previous years will be calculated, and that will be multiplied by the number of years purchased. You will get the value of goodwill. Capitalization method, some super profits is calculated, then that super profit is multiplied by number of years purchased, then you will get the value of goodwill. In capitalization method, you have to calculate the goodwill amount. So these 3 meaning is not required here. Just you have to keep in mind the 3 methods of valuation of goodwill: average profit method, super profit method, and capitalization method. Then you have treatment of goodwill. Treatment of goodwill we will study in the next class. You have some question with regard to goodwill. What is the premium method of treatment of goodwill when the new partner is admitted? Premium method of treatment of goodwill. Premium method of treatment of goodwill is a method under which the new partner has to bring goodwill in cash. Just you have to keep it. The new partner has to bring goodwill in cash. That is called premium method of treatment of goodwill. Then when the goodwill is distributed among the old partner in their sacrifice ratio. So when a new partner bring goodwill in cash, that time you have to distribute the goodwill in the sacrifice ratio. All these things we will study in the practical question. When we go for practical question, 12 mark question, all these things will come. Don't worry about all these things. Then give the meaning of hidden goodwill at the time of admission of a partner. What do you mean by hidden goodwill? So the value of hidden goodwill is inferred on the basis of new partner capital and his share of profit. It's called hidden goodwill. So the value of goodwill is calculated, is inferred on the basis of new partner's capital and his share of profit. That means the goodwill is not calculated at present. The goodwill is calculated in future. The goodwill is calculated in future on the basis of new partner capital and his share of profit. That is called as a hidden goodwill. In other cases, the goodwill is calculated at the time of taking a new partner into partnership firm. But in case of hidden goodwill, goodwill is calculated in future on the basis of new partner capital and new partner share of profit. That is called as hidden goodwill. So you just keep in mind these things. Next class we will go for treatment of goodwill and the other adjustments at the time of admission of a partner. Okay, so this is the concepts I told you in this class. Next class we will continue the other concepts of the admission of a new partner. Thank you.